Patch 1.1 is out and here's everything you need to know. If you would like to check out the patch notes on your own, I left a link to it in the description below. First up, we got an Omega original hero, Skylar, for the carry role lane. The Shadows of Eve event has returned once again, and this time we have a Halloween theme map with the new skybox, haunting new lighting effects, and a bunch of Halloween themed decorations. There are 7 new skins in total, one for Skylar and the new Halloween skins for Narbash, Greystone, Kira, Lieutenant Bellica, and Sparrow. The bundle costs 7,600 platinum, and you get all the Halloween skins, which also include recolor variants for Kira and Greystone, banners, icons, sprays, and the characters. The bundle for Skylar costs 2,285 platinum and comes with their character, a skin, a banner, an icon, a spray, and premium affinity for her. There is also a Chimera Halloween skin, but it's only obtainable by watching select Predecessor Creator Guild streamers. As well as earning the Chimera skin, you can also receive a profile icon, 2 sprays, all the way up until November 5th. There's been a slight adjustment to the shop's first 3. They will cost less, but they will also decrease the amount of platinum you will get. The only ones not affected are 5,900 and 12,200 platinum packs. Bad news for PlayStation users. The console improvements that were supposed to go live on the 8th of October has been postponed. This is what was said. Version 1.1 is fast approaching, and with it comes a number of exciting new features like the Shadows Eve event, and of course our 4th original new hero, Skylar. Unfortunately, however, the console certification process has uncovered a small handful of issues that are blocking the launch of some of the new console features stated for version 1.1, such as trophies and localization on PlayStation. In order to avoid further delays and to ensure tomorrow's release date still goes ahead as planned, we've had to remove these features from the PlayStation build for now. This means that the following features will no longer be launching in version 1.1 for PlayStation users. Trophies, 120 frames per second mode, localization, mouse and keyboard support. We understand that for many of you on PlayStation, this will be disappointing. Rest assured that our team are working hard to deliver on these features as soon as possible in an upcoming update. The draft menu has been improved. Firstly, they're reverting back before version 1.0 to how it was before subclasses. It makes it easier to see and it's not so clustered as it was before. They're adding more voice lines to the draft menu to reduce confusions on selecting roles. Your username will now display under the role selected. It now alerts you to select a hero.
Select hero.
They have added a voice to remind you to lock in.
Lock in your hero.
Ability videos are now added to draft menus and in the main menu. Hero camera positions are now closer to the screen instead of being so far back. For the post-match screen, it will now highlight the player who came on top in this particular category, and your column will also be highlighted. 6 new items have been added to the game. For carry, we got Spectra. Spectra's passive is Radiant Strikes. It deals 30 physical damage on hit and reduces the cooldown of Prisma by 3 seconds. Damaging an enemy hero with this effect 3 times within 3 seconds activates Prisma. Spectra's second passive is Prisma. Deal 20 plus 4 per level additional true damage and slow the target by 50% for 0.3 seconds. Damage increases from 1 to 3 times based on the target's missing health, with a 10-second cooldown. Solaris' passive is Solar Blade. Upon casting an ability, empower your next basic attack within 4 seconds to deal 50 plus 120% critical strike chance, bonus physical damage on hit, with the 1.5 second cooldown. Now onto the mage items, we got Entropy. Entropy's passive is Degradation. Your abilities deal 3 plus 3% magical power, additional magical damage. Each ability's cast can only trigger this effect once every 0.3 seconds per target. The second mage item we got is Overseer. Overseer's passive is Exalted. Your ultimate deals 15% increased damage and heals you for 25% of the damage dealt to heroes. The last 2 items are for the support category. First up, we got Void Conduit. Void Conduit's passive is Relativity. While within 1,000 units of an ally hero, you both gain 0.75% missing health and mana regeneration. And the final item is Tainted Charm. Tainted Charm's passive is Blighted Presence. Enemy heroes within 550 units of you have their healing reduced by 40% and are slowed by 10%. Aside from adding 6 new items, Kingsbane has been removed from the game. Before we move on to the hero balances changes, make sure to redeem your limited Skylar spray by entering the code WINGEDMARAUDER. Now onto the hero balancing changes. First up, we got Countess. Countess's physical armor gross is being increased from 2.85 to 3.05 per level. Her Blade Siphon's damage is being decreased from 215 to 195 at the max level. Her magical power scaling is being increased from 50% to 55%. Next up, we got Crunch. Crunch's ultimate Re-Crunch, his healing is being increased from 100 to 105 at max level. Greystone has received a hefty buff. First up, his attack speed gross has increased from 1.6 to 1.9. His ability Make Wave's cooldown has decreased from 9 seconds to 8 seconds at max level. Sacred Oath's slow has been increased from 12% to 13%. Assault the Gate's bonus physical power scaling has increased from 75% to 90%.
You have selected combat mode.
Grimm's basic attack time has decreased from 1.25 to 1.2. Both of his power scaling has been increased for his displacement blast. His physical scaling went from 90% to 95%, and his magical scaling went from 75% to 80%.
What a jump! It's perfect!
Iggy and Scorch's health is being decreased from 765 to 750. His oil spill's magical power scaling is being increased from 30% to 35%, and his burn damage magical power scaling is being increased from 8% to 10%. His Molotov's damage is being decreased from 195 to 185 at the max level. His magical power scaling is being increased from 40% to 45%. And here's where it gets interesting. His projectile speed is being decreased by 15%, his projectile gravity is being increased by 10%, but his max range is being decreased from approximately 3,500 to 2,500. Chimera's passive health regen per stack is increasing from 4.7 to 5.45 at level 18. What you're looking at here is his max regeneration stats per level. In the new update, his level 1 is worse than his previous version, but later on it gets better. Kira's ultimate, Purge, its total damage is being increased from 570 to 650 at max level. Narbash's Stunk, its cooldown is being decreased from 14 to 13 at max level. Rampage can finally use Pounce while jumping. Revenant's Obliterate damage is being decreased from 110 to 105.
You enjoy this as much as I.
Richter's passive's max health scaling is being decreased from 12% to 11%. Shock Therapy's flat damage is being changed from 85 to 90 at level 1, and at max level is being changed from 265 to 250. So our early game is going to be better, but late game his flat damage is going to be worse. Sparrow's passive, Relentless, his max health damage per stack has been increased from 0.35% to 0.4%. Her piercing shots cooldown is being decreased from 8 seconds to 7 seconds.
I love this team. For this match, anyway.
Race's ability, Surprise Surprise, its invisibility duration is being decreased from 4 seconds to 3.5 seconds. Knock Knock's bonus physical power scaling is being decreased from 130% to 120%. Now on to the last hero, Zinx. Her ability, Bad Medicine's Explosion magical power scaling is being decreased from 45% to 40%. Her ultimate, Neuroregenesis, the health and mana restored on Resurrect decreased from 40, 50, 60% to 35, 45, and 55%. And now for the Crest Changes. First up, we got Soulbearer. His movement speed is being increased from 10% to 12%. Tempest's overcharge damage is being decreased from 20 to 15. Its magical power scaling is being increased from 12% to 15%. Typhoon's magical power scaling is being increased from 30% to 4%. Saphir's damage bonus health scaling is being increased from 1% to 1.25%. Razorback's duration is being decreased from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. The War Boots' health regeneration is being increased from 2% to 2.5%. Leaf Song's movement speed is being increased from 38% to 40%. And finally, the item changes. For carry items, we got Ashbringer. Its physical power is being increased from 20 to 25. Lightning Hawk's physical power is being increased from 40 to 45. Its total physical power scaling is being decreased from 30% to 25%. Sky Splitter's minimum damage is being decreased from 15 to 12. Fire Blossom's health is being decreased from 400 to 375. And lastly, Omen's cooldown's refund is being increased from 20% to 25%. And that's everything for this patch note. But before the video ends there's been a hotfix that dropped on the 10th of October that fixed an issue where the PS4 version of Predecessor would crash. Skylar's hypercharge was also nerfed. Her total physical power scaling decreased from 11% to 9%. Her magical power scaling decreased from 6% to 5%, and her bonus attack speed scaling decreased from 50% to 12%. I would like to thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video, and I'll see you next time.